I am in the Mandalay Bay Convention Center about to attend a show called Licensing Expo. However, I ran into the Starbucks counter first and saw the long line. I guess you need coffee before walking around a convention hall. Licensing Expo is very happy to be here in person. This is the first in-person event since 2019. The licensing industry, and we're talking brands here, famous names on brands, is a $292 billion industry. And it is a show that is produced by the Global Licensing Group, a division of Informa Markets. So now you have all the information. Let's go see the show. So here's the first inside look. As I was coming through the door, one of the attendants said, "Look, this man just threw this on the floor," and the "this" was a very big brochure telling who is where. And she said, "Very rude," and I said, "I agree." So here we are, lots of folks here already. This is the first day of the show. And it looks as if we're in cartoon territory as I see that giant, I don't know what it is, over one of the booths. So I am not a cartoon expert, but we will look around nonetheless. Here is the name Pokemon, something I saw at the card show, and I still don't know who or what is Pokemon, and I have to ask. Very nice young ladies at the booth explained to me that Pokemon is actually a whole raft of characters, such as this one, and I think she said Pikachu. She said they evolve. They are on cards, they are on TV shows, there are games, and now let's see, one other, and they came from Japan, so I'll be darned, and if I were younger, I'd know all about this. I don't know whether you can see the sign, but the sign says Crunchyroll, and I thought, well, this is something else I don't know. And I asked the lady, it sounds like something good to eat. She says it is. Crunchyroll, and she said this is anime, which is Japanese cartooning, and this booth represents about, I don't know, she showed me a sheet, 20 different shows that appear on Japanese television. And she said if you go to any sushi shop and order a Crunchyroll, you'll get it and it will be delicious. Here are all the shows that this particular booth represents, and you can see the cartooning is a little different than what American cartooning is like. This is the BBC booth, Doctor Who, for 60 years, and they have a number of folks in here having conversation about licensing, I assume. I love BBC programs. Another big name, Sony, is here. And gee, do you remember this ghost? In Ghostbusters, I believe, it is still an interesting icon. You should have a contest as to which cartoon character belongs to who. Bluey belongs to BBC. And here are some of the items that are evidencing the brand. Smurfs I know, and here is a large Smurf, a photo opportunity. And apparently a new movie is coming out in February 2025. Apparently there's somebody called Miffy, and I'm not quite sure whether this is an American brand or not, but anyway, this is what we end up with if we put the brand on a shirt. Maybe a Kleenex box or a cup or a little statue. Big sign says Paramount, and there are a bunch of characters on the wall that I have never seen. However, I gather they are on your local cable channel. For the Saturday Evening Post from when I attended this show sometime earlier, I had to ask again, what is it you license? And the woman here said, everything. Our articles, our art, everything that has appeared in the magazine. So, if you want any of it, you can license it and use it over and over again. Here's a sign that makes sense. Licensing matters, but then everything here is about KFC. And they make finger-licking good chicken. I don't know what you would license a KFC for. Maybe you would put it on a shirt, but as the sign says, licensing matters. My goodness, Peanuts is still around with a big video and a big booth. Peanuts, I do understand. My goodness, it must have been around for at least 50 years, maybe longer. This is funny. The booth says Paul Frank, and I know somebody named Paul Franks, and I don't know whether his likeness can be licensed, but this is Paul Frank. I think this is Toki Doki, and they have a lot of characters larger than life here, and a lot of cartoons. I sort of like the whole atmosphere. Don't know much about it though. Why not have your picture taken with Peanuts? Okay, this is something called Riot Games, and they have a big video screen and a number of folks who seem to be interested as well. And it's riotous cartoons, I gather. Oh, it's a game. 52 million players.
Yeah, but I can share it.
The world I know nothing about. The Lumi Stella Company has this great big board and says a fantastic world beyond the elf on the shelf is launching in fall of 2024. So hope you can wait that long. Sesame Street is a brand also. They have a couple of eyes over the doorway and a couple of other characters seen in their booth. Plastic Entertainment has a booth, and they are featuring Clifford, the big red dog, and Eva, the owlet. I think this is the Hasbro booth. It's got lots of people in it, lots of computers, and they have Nerf and Dungeons and Dragons, and as I said before, lots of people creating joy and community for all people around the world. One game, one toy, one story at a time. And on the other side of the aisle, Pac-Man. And I remember Pac-Man, and I played Pac-Man. Apparently, there are people still interested in Pac-Man. There are many Pac-Man games, and apparently little knitted animals with Pac-Man on them, and even very minor, minimum, little bitty Pac-Man games and players. This is a huge booth called the Brand Liaison, and they have all kinds of brands listed and hanging posters, and people real popular. Rights will license Tupac and the Rolling Stones and like Morgan Allen. Can't quite tell. These are some folks I'm not as familiar with as, say, Frank Sinatra. Okay, this is a brand we know, Coca-Cola. Look at their wallpaper. Haha, Forever Crayola. In color. The Beatles is even a brand that you can put on, I guess, t-shirts. And I remember this view. Here the Beatles are. Looks like Toei Animation since 1956. They have a big dragon in the sky. And Dragon Ball Z. Right here. This huge truck has been the background for many pictures. On the truck it says The Amazing Spider-Man and Monster Jam, etc. I'm not quite sure what this truck is, but everybody loves it and they're taking pictures. I think this is NFL something, and we have here Aiden Hutchinson from the Detroit Lions, and I gather you can put names of teams and folks on jerseys. Or here you can have an NFL player apron and grill like a pro. This is a name I know, Super Mario. Not a big booth here, but the name is here. Super Mario is a member of the Nintendo booth. Sorry. And there's quite a bit going on here. What I've always wanted, an Ultraman. This picture is part of the Paramount booth, and this is SpongeBob, and it says 25, so something tells me SpongeBob has been around 25 years. My goodness, Band-Aid is a brand. We're at the Paramount booth looking at their video. Mean Girls is a brand. Yellowstone is a brand. I saw a display of two hats and I didn't know what it was, but it was saying Yellowstone is a brand. So you can see via the video what a large company can do with the brands they own. Gentlemen are standing in front of a video display about Star Trek, and I'm sure that has been a very valuable brand for Paramount for years. Hot Wheels I know, and the gentleman is sporting a Hot Wheels t-shirt. If you're lucky, you get to go through the orange curtains and see I don't know what. Well, what do you know, folks? Barbie the movie is here with a very pink Chevrolet. Don't know when the movie comes out, but I'm sure it's full of pink stuff. This is the Mattel booth, I think, where Barbie lives, and you enter through a sunburst, I guess. I guess it's a sunburst. Beautiful picture here. This is called the Frida Kahlo booth, and there are people here interested. Not quite sure about Frida. I think she may be Hispanic. She's lovely. I haven't heard of the Berenstain Bears, but they're cute and well fed. Bears are with PBS Kids. Spin Master booth has a number of videos, including cartoons, which look cute. And there were a number of, that's a number of people watching the videos as well. Spin Master. I think these gals have all gone to the same lip doctor that the Kardashians use. Want a sign that takes a couple looks before understanding? I think it is Squish, and lots of different drawings on each letter. And below the Squish is Garden Girl. Not quite familiar with this brand either, but I liked the video that was going on. Curiosity Ink Media or Sepia. These are two signs in the front. I don't know, I just like that plain face. Big tongue, eyes. It says United by Emotions, and I'm not sure whether this is part of this booth or meeting place. A lot of people are here having meetings, and a lot of brands are on the wall. Could be just an interesting place to work on your laptop. Could be buying and selling. These cute kids are part of Moonbug. We're in Las Vegas, folks. It doesn't snow here. The company is By Blade, coming 2024, and look at the illustration. Everybody looks quite chaotic. The other day I lost my money in the casino and I couldn't find it. I felt just like this, but I found the money. Anyway, By Blade doesn't have the right letters to say goodbye, but this is my last booth visit at this show. Full of cartoon characters, and it may be that I'm beyond all of that, but what a colorful show, and what cute characters I saw. See you all next year.